Oh,
There's
he's
the,
got the list.
there's the list.
It's growing.
I've been nice.
Well, you got to ask the big man, though, to make sure. All right. Look at, let's see. Let's do this. And, all right. We'll do that. And And ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday. It is August 5th. It is time for Ask Me Anything with Robert Hollis. I hope everyone is doing fantastic as we head into the August month and almost into the last quarter of the year. Oh my gosh, 2023 is just powering on by everybody. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Ask Me Anything, the day that you get to ask a question, any question, to a certified multi-millionaire. And we're just so excited to have Robert here to answer your questions and just be and share what the successes are that Robert has gone through so that he can help you become a success, because that's what Robert's all about. It's not just him becoming successful, but it is you becoming successful. And I loved, Robert, this phrase that you shared earlier today on your Facebook page, because it kind of is that way. The Robert shared this phrase: faith. It's all about believing you don't know how it will happen, but you know it will. Think about that, because if you keep that thought in your head, it will. So we're so happy to have you with us to participate in Ask Me Anything. It's very, very simple. You can go ahead and, if you're watching on YouTube or here on Zoom, you can ask a question by typing your question in either of the chats. We monitor both chats and we will ask the question on your behalf. Or if you want to ask Robert a question personally, you got to go to Zoom. So for those of you watching on YouTube, go to roberthollis.com/AMA and log into our Zoom, and then you can ask a question. And it's very simple in Zoom how you ask a question. Similar to what you see here, those of you watching in Zoom, that Coach Bob has his hand raised. Very simple to do that. Put your cursor in the middle of the screen, those on Zoom. On the bottom, you'll see a bunch of buttons. One of them says reactions. Click on the reactions button, and one of those other new buttons that'll appear is raise hand. Click on that, and we will call on you. So that's how it's done. I will also put the directions in the chat as we get things started, because we love to give Robert the first word and how to get things going and what is taking place. Oh my God, all of a sudden hands got raised. So this is going to be an awesome Ask Me Anything. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get going. Saturday, August 5th, 4 minutes after the noon hour on the Pacific Coast, 4 minutes after the 3 o'clock hour on the East Coast, or whatever time it is where you happen to be watching. It's the AMA Zing Ask Me Anything with Mr. Robert Hollis.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig. I love and appreciate you so much. Hostess with the mostest. And of course, Matthew doing all the things behind the scene. I really, really appreciate you guys so much. And also all the people that are on here. I really appreciate doing these. And if I had anything to start out this AMA with, it's that every time that we seem like we're losing ground is when we're focusing on something other than our vision. So, if you got a place to go, I always tell people this all the time. I know that a lot of you have been on road trips. When I was young, that was the only thing that was really cool that we did. And when you got a road trip, it's like first you picked a destination of where you wanted to go. After you picked the destination, then you just started heading that way. And back, 61 years old, back then when you had a map, there was always times during the trip where your mind would take you over. And it would say, I think I'm going the wrong way. I feel like I'm going the wrong way. I don't think this is the right way. I think we're lost. And then, no one wants to say anything. And then all of a sudden the chatter starts going, right? And it's like, maybe we missed a turn. Maybe we missed a sign or something. And then all of a sudden you either pull over and ask somebody, are you going in the right direction? Or about the time that you're going to stop your vehicle, you see a sign pop up and it says 282 miles to Las Vegas. And I just know that as human beings, when we're not focused at what we're going, because how many people when you're young, like I said, I was 61, it's like me and Terry would take off and go, back to California from Montana. And that was 18 hours. And it was like, hey, you think we can pull this off in one shot? And it's like, how many people remember when you're really focused and you're really excited, can't sleep anyway? You know what I mean? Might as well just push through. As I got older, those weren't so easy anymore. Now your mind goes, hey, it's 18 hours. That sounds like 3 days. I can, and it's like, hey, stop early, get a nice meal, have a good night's sleep. Don't have to get up too early. And we're still getting to distances. We're still getting to the places, but just with a little less anxiety. You know what I mean? And it's not one of those things where you push so hard, you push so hard that all of a sudden you find out that, you got to take 2 days to catch up. How many people have done this? So you put too much effort in and then you get to your destination and it's like you're too tired. You know what I mean? So there's always this deal where as long as you're excited about where you're going to show up and you consistently imagine doing that. One of the things that I learned when I first got involved in business is it's amazing that the average human being plans more for a 2-week vacation than their life. You know what I mean? So, how many of you have made a decision that you're going to go on a vacation and all of a sudden, not only do you get excited, but you start telling everybody about it. It's like, I don't know if this really means anything because, I'm going on this trip, you know what I mean, in a couple of months. And we prepare for it. We make sure that everything is taken care of that needs to be taken care of. And then we start imagining the excursions and the stuff that we're going to do on the trip. Am I the only one that does this? Or do some of you actually, hey, why is it that you'll do that with a 2-week vacation, but you won't do that with your life? Right? And so people always ask me, where do I get my excitement from? Well, how many of you, normally when we leave from, Billings, Montana, if you're going anywhere from East Coast to West Coast or international, the flight takes off at 6 a.m. So that means you got to be there at 5, or my wife, 4:30, right? So we're leaving here at 4. And so my wife and I do this all the time. So we're leaving here at 4. That means we got to be up by 3:30. How many of you pack the days before you go, or do you get up and try to pack at 3 in the morning? See, we do a lot of things and you go, well, I guess we'll try to get a few hours sleep. How many of you don't sleep? It's like the thought of missing the plane, the thought of, staying asleep. So you stay up all night because you're excited. Why aren't you like that in your life? Because if you were, you'd be like me. It's like every morning I wake up, it's a couple of steps to the destiny that I want to do for myself, my family, and for a lot of children that depend on me. A lot of them that don't even know who I am yet. So So that's what you got to do. You got to have that excitement of in your imagination of what you're going to show up as. And that's pretty cool because most people, again, you ask them what they want in life and they can't answer that question. They've never defined their perfect day. So that's all I have for this morning, this afternoon, depending on where you are. And so, Craig, back to you. Let's answer some questions and help some people out.
Absolutely. Two things. Robert, were you talking about me when I was going on my trip to overseas? Boy, it's so true.
I'm sure I was.
Yeah. And it was, I mean, you pack early. Now, I mean, I'm not guilty on the part of keeping my vision in my head, but absolutely when you're going overseas and even just in general, you want to plan in advance and you want to prep for it.
Right.
And Robert, what you shared with us just now, amazing way to look at it so that we get prepped to take the adventure, journey, however you want to say it, that we want to take and go for it.
Yeah, and I can add just a couple more things. You know, a lot of you know that I'm planning for a trip to Nigeria. And you know, when you do things like that, there's a lot of things that can be confusing, frustrating, overwhelming. You know, there's all these things that regardless of what you want to do, that you really just don't plan on. You know, I didn't know that I needed a visa to get into Nigeria. I didn't know that I needed to get certain yellow fever shot. Once I found out where to get it and I got it, I didn't know that I couldn't plan my trip before 10 days. So if you guys have heard me on this whole thing of trying to get my visa, it's like, well, I couldn't get my visa until I could prove that I had a yellow fever shot. So then I find the place and go get the yellow fever shot. And then they tell me, well, listen, we got a little problem. I go, what? Well, you're over 60. What the hell does that mean? Well, you got to get a doctor to approve that you're okay to handle the shot. Well, that's a little spooky. So then I had to go do that, right? And so then I get the yellow fever shot, and then I go to fill out the rest of the thing for the visa, and it said right in bold letters, it said, you know, do not fill out this form unless it's been 10 days after your shot. Now that makes sense, but it's still frustrating. So I want to go get a shot. No, you can't. You got to go see a doctor first. Now I got to go see the doctor and I get a shot. Then I try to fill out the visa and they go, no, you know, you got to have the shot for at least 10 days before you do the visa. And it's like all these things you find out can be overwhelming and frustrating. And this is not fair. And this is BS. And why me? And this is all, you know, all this, you know, rigmarole, or just go, hey, it is what it is. I'll get it done. I'm one step closer to going to Nigeria. You know what I mean? And you just keep knocking out the steps, right? And so, yeah, if you're excited to go do something, then you'll go through the frustration of the stuff that you need to do and you won't give up.
Absolutely. And hope everybody is excited, especially about today's AMA with the amazing Robert Hollis. And I got to give it up to James Saunders. Oh, James, wow. $99 on the super chat.
Thanks, James. I love you.
You are incredible, my friend. Bless you and thank you. And for everyone who wants to donate to the super chat, it's on YouTube. At the very bottom of the chat, there's a $sign in a little box. Please click on that. And what will happen is that money will go to donations that Robert is going to put forth to help orphans and children with special needs. So please, you know, help us out. All the money goes there. And, you know, thank you so very, very much, everyone who helps us out. So we've got we've got already 4 people with their hands up. So we're going to get to Coach Bob, Jody Falcon, James Saunders, and Sharon, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Zeman or Zeman. Close enough. Okay, we'll find out when we get to you, Sharon. So thank you very much. I don't mean to mispronounce until I hear it for the very first time. Thank you very much. All right, so first up is Coach Bob. There you are, sir. Unmute yourself and please share on Ask Me Anything with Robert Hollis.
Thanks a lot, Craig. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Hey, Robert. I hope you had a great week. And here's my question. I send a lot of emails out to my affiliates that respond on. I get them to fill out the our capture page. But I'm considering doing a video, kind of introduce myself and
Sure.
and just so they get to know me a little bit better. I guess I'd like to get your opinion on that. And also I wanted to send them some stuff to maybe put on their social media, like banners or something to kind of help them kind of get them started. It just seems like I'm not getting a lot of response back and I want to try something else.
Yeah, it is amazing. I would do it, Bob, because it doesn't take that long. It really doesn't to take. So I got a very short email that I put together if people become an affiliate, become a customer, or even a prospect. And I sort of got that covered. And what I do is parts of it is steering everybody to my YouTube channel where I have playlists on how to get paid and stuff like that. And it's crazy. I'm not going to stop doing it. But 5.5 years in this company, I don't ever remember sending an email to somebody and they replied and said, hey, thanks a lot for sending me that email. I'd love to, I ask them to send me a private message on either Telegram or Facebook Messenger so that I can get connected with them. And I take that same thing and I also post it in the messenger part of My Daily Choice. And it's bizarre to me. It's just really, truly bizarre to me that I never even thought about this. How many people here drop a 1 in the chat if you've ever replied to an email? Because I replied to emails. If any one of you sent me an email or a Facebook message, I reply. So that's weird, Bob. I don't know. So my answer to your question is great idea. Whether or not you're going to get anything from it is another thing.
Yeah. How would you go? What would you say on there, or you just kind of, because I give them your video to watch.
Yeah.
So I put your video in there, and then I'm also going to recommend them to come, to these Saturday, So I'm going to also do that in the message, because this is a big help, I think, to everyone.
Yeah,
so.
I would in that message, every conversation that I've had with you, Bob, you're pleasant to talk to. You're a good guy. You come across
Thanks.
with good energy. So I think that for you to be able to say, hey, I did a short video for you, and you just get on there and say, listen, if you're seeing this video, I sent it to you, not only to congratulate you, but I want to help you take the next step to get to know more. I'd like to get to know you better. And, I'd like to set up a time to do a video conference with you so I can walk you through things and help answer any questions that you have. I think that is an awesome idea.
Okay.
I don't personally do that. And I think it's a great idea. You got in my head enough to go, I did a short video for you. Well, maybe they would watch that.
Well, I'll try it and I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Because all I'm trying to do is because I'm focused on business always, and I'm always leading with opportunity. One of the lines that I say all the time that sort of gets people to respond is I go, Bob, what I would love to do is I would love to show you how to get an extra payday for you and your family. So sometimes I sit back and I really think, if we're talking about WIIFM, what's in it for me, or them in this scenario? I'm really always trying to say something very short and sweet that they can see, that they would go, I would like, that would work for me.
Yeah, right.
And so I'll give you one other thing that I do, Bob, that because I'm building so fast, if I have somebody that comes in the company, then what I would do is then after a couple of people come underneath them, I'll send them a screenshot. And so if you know what I'm talking about, I'll go in the binary and I'll take a screenshot of them in their personal box. I click on business details, and then I actually click on, make the screen small enough so I can grab 4 or 5 people underneath them.
Sure.
And then I'll send that to them and I'll say, hey, Bob, I said, I'm really excited. Again, whenever you want to connect, and you already have 3 people underneath you, or you already have 6 people underneath you. So the things that I'm trying to get people sort of hooked with, we talk about marketing, the hook is like, what do you mean there's people underneath me? Who put them underneath me? Am I going to get paid off those people? See, these are all good questions that I think that are good questions.
Right.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Always welcome. Always welcome.
Bob, thank you so very much.
Thanks,
Appreciate that. Okay, so I got to give another shout out to Bill Shoemaker for his donation to the super chat. Bill, bless you, man, and thank you so very much. And also, I should let everyone know who's watching, if you like what we are doing here and you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button. It's that one with the thumbs up. And also subscribe to our channel if you're watching us for the very first time. Very simple. Hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell next to the subscribe button, because then you'll get notified, ring-a-ding-ding, that we are doing something. Whether it's Robert doing his daily going lives, or we are here doing the podcast, How Do You Know That, on Wednesdays, or right here on Saturdays, Ask Me Anything. So several ways to follow us. And then, of course, if you want to, you can join our amazing inner circle where we get into things a little more in depth than what you see here. And that's going to roberthollis.com/join. And believe me, you are going to love the fact of a group of people masterminding together to help everyone go to the next level. So there we are. Let's go ahead and move on, because I see that Jody Falcon has her hand raised. So Jody, let's go ahead, unmute yourself, and please share.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Hi, Robert.
Hi, Jody. How are
Thank
you?
Craig. Wonderful. Peachy Keen.
Peachy King. Finer than frog hair.
Something like that. Oh my, I just had such a blast from the past. You talking about getting ready for your trip and Craig's trip. I've done 5 road trips to visit my youngest son when he lived out in Taos, New Mexico.
Very cool.
1,988 miles one way from my driveway. Oh man. Okay, so over this past week, Lisa Marie and I have been kind of trying to brainstorm about the whole benefits of nonprofits and partnering with My Daily Choice. And just by accident. No, serendipitously, when I was on her YouTube channel, I picked up like a 20 or 30-second segment of a Zoom that you all were in, and you were talking about how she can get her rescue set up, and things like that. So I have 4 nonprofits that are extremely important to me that I give to on a regular basis. And when I saw that 20, 30-second clip, I mean, just light bulbs were going off like, oh my God, I can give more.
Yeah.
But I can't figure out like the details. Is this something that we could do on a Zoom with the directors of these nonprofits, or do you have 5 easy steps that I can share?
What you got to do, Jody, is get out of your head and get into your heart. That's all. That's all it is. So, you know, because here's what people have a tendency of doing. They not only overthink, but they over prepare. I seen someone the other day was, do you guys know who Big Al Schroeder is? If you look up Big Al Schroeder, he's one of these, Yodas of network marketing. And he said, man, when I got involved in network marketing, the first thing I wanted to do is know all the facts and figures so I could do an effective presentation. And he said, so I memorized all of those things and no one got involved. And because people want to feel you, they don't want to hear you. And so when you're really humble and you don't need to know things, you could set an appointment with somebody that was the head of a nonprofit and just say, I feel in my heart and I enjoy donating and supporting you. Is there any way that I could buy you a cup of coffee? Because you know people that have donated to you, and I want to stimulate some ideas on how I could do that with you. So now when you're sitting down with someone, that their number one goal is to help you give them more money. Now you can come from a place of wanting to learn and what would work and what not work, instead of putting together a plan of stuff that you don't know. And then you don't know when you give that plan to them if that's going to turn them off.
Perfect.
So a person they'll give you a perfect example of that, and I know that you got it already. If I was sitting down with a church, for instance, because I met somebody from that church, and I sat down and I say, listen, before we talk about anything, can you tell me some of the things right now that are pressing upon your church that you're trying to raise money for? You can't shut them up. Did you hear the words that I said?
I'm writing them down.
Yeah, it's like before we even start talking, because they think the meeting is going to be about you pitching them on something. See? Because that's what everybody else does.
Yeah.
But if I called up Lisa Marie and said, listen, I heard that you were putting together a thing called Buddy's Place. Yeah, I am. Well, I just want to give to that. I think it's a great idea. But to be honest with you, I've never done that. I've never orchestrated anything. I never thought about, what were the main points of what you're supposed to do. And see, if you guys have heard me talk about the Starkey Hearing Foundation. So here's a guy named Bill Austin that's a multi-billionaire. And he was able to get the point across to us in a 10-minute story. And it was all based on feeling. So I'll do the quick story here because you guys, he'd say, hi, everybody. Well, thank you very much for your time. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. But how many of you have ever been walking by yourself and all of a sudden you swear that you heard dog tags, or you heard something in the trees, or you heard something going, and you turn around because you're a little startled and you don't see anything? And so what you do is you start picking up speed to get to wherever you're going, and you hear it more. So now you're in a wide open run. And you run to the door, knock on the door, open the door, and you get in, you look outside and you see nothing. See, that was your imagination that was causing all that. Do you guys know that deaf children feel like that every moment of their lives?
Yes.
How short was that story? Because you can see and hear and notice that there's nothing. They're just sitting in a room by themselves, and they always think they're hearing something. Always. So I would like your help. And if you donate, it will not only make sure that these children get fit with hearing aids. They can't afford it. But we want to do that so they hear the words, I love you, the first time. They get to hear people laugh. They get to hear people sing. They get to hear birds singing. You know what I mean? So if you give $1, Jody, I'm going to match it with $5. So if you give $1, I'm going to put 5 in it. And for every $22, we can help fit another child with hearing aids. So isn't it amazing that people that are really good at raising funds can reach out, grab your heart, squeeze it a little bit, and then basically tell you what's in it for you? And people try to go to these nonprofits and pitch them on what they would need to do, how they need to expose what they're doing to their audience. And see, right away, the person that's raising money for the charity is like going, oh my God, but I don't know if this is going to be a good one or not. So I got to listen to every damn presentation that comes in here. And what you do is you reach out and say, listen, I need to be bold and honest with you. I love your charity. I don't know all the different things that you do. And I know you probably have a number of people that are your top donators. And since I've never done this and I felt called to help you, can you share some really things that you've seen effectively work? Because they already approved those.
Wow. Wow.
And
Wow.
yeah, so you could even say, well, what are some things that people bring to you that you wouldn't approve? So now what you're doing is letting them tell you exactly everything that you need to do to support them. What's worked, what hasn't worked. Again, coming back to someone always asking me what I think is the number one thing that has helped me succeed, and that's asking for help. Well, you guys can really, really get to a point. Hey, oh, by the way, I was wondering if you could do me a huge favor. I'd really appreciate it. And people going, no, I'm going to figure this out on my own, and then I'm going to go pitch. Some of you guys have chicken lists of very successful people. And you never ever thought, hey, Jody, listen, I know you're really busy. I was wondering if I could buy you a cup of coffee. I want to share with you what I'm currently involved in, but more than anything, I would like your expertise of how you think I should go about it. What you think I should do and what I shouldn't do. Because I respect you. I've seen what you've done. To be honest with you, I've always sort of wanted to be like you. And they're like, I'll pay for the damn coffee. If you want me to tell you what to do. So I hope that helped, Jody.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've reached out to successful business people and asked them what was the best form of marketing they've done. And they'll just talk my head off. You got to work with so-and-so. This is the thing that I got the best. I did a little jingle for 30 seconds on this radio show. And you know what? I have Gene's number. Call Gene and tell him that Robert sent you. And she'll help you with the jingle. Just like, all right. Very cool. I think I said this to Lisa Marie in the past too, Jody. Every television show, every newspaper, and every radio show has to give a certain amount of publication to nonprofit organizations. It's in their deal. But no one ever reaches out and says, hey, so Lisa Marie or you, Jody, could reach out to the local TV stations and said, listen, I'm putting together Buddy's Place or whatever you're doing, Jody, and you turn around and you say, hey, listen, this is what I want to do. And is there any way that you could interview me on your little short clips that you do between your commercials, so I could let the public know what I'm trying to do for these charities, or what I'm trying to do for these kids, or what am I trying to do for these pets?
Wow.
So if you've ever seen anything on TV or a newspaper and radio that has to do with nonprofit, they're doing that for free.
Oh my gosh. The creative juices are just percolating. Wow. Wow. Oh, Robert.
So put that imagination in gear, and yeah. And I
Wow.
just love that you and Lisa Marie are masterminding, because you guys are pushing each other. That's really, really cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ah,
So
thank you so much.
it's so easy to, hi, Luna.
Oh,
All right. Love you, Jody.
bye.
Jody, thank you so much. And yeah, it's true. I mean, I used to work in radio myself, and even on TV. They like the human interest, the public relations stuff, because it puts their name out there as well. So yeah, put together a nice, simple package explaining what you're doing, send it to them, and go from there.
Wow. Thank you so much.
You bet. Love you.
So much more to give.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much, Jody. James Saunders, you're coming up. Got Sharon and John also on deck. So let's get to it. James, open up and please share.
Robert, thank you. You know what? Boy, I'm so pumped up. I don't know what to do. July 14th, I reached out to a gentleman on Facebook. I just reached out to him and I shared with him. I was me. You know how we do, Robert. You know how we do.
Yeah. I just come from your heart. Everyone's got to stop thinking.
He reached out to me today. He reached out to me. I didn't follow up with him. He reached out to me, and this is what he said. Furthermore, I'm going to share what he did, okay? This is what he said. He said, so how do I get started? I'm going to school full-time, a retired disabled vet, and funds are limited, but my time is available. I was already considering starting a webpage where I put stuff to sell through affiliate links. Is this similar? And along affiliate marketing, one also recruits others to join. He said all that, right? He went through all of that, right? I didn't go through any of that. I sent him a link to get started. I sent him my free affiliate link. He has since got started. And I got reminded. Then he sent me this. Let me see. Here we are. I will buy the Pro Performer Pack at the end of the month. I will pick out a few products in the meantime that could address issues I deal with personally. How do I update this correctly? He's asking me questions. I did not reach out to him. So what I'm saying is, when
you sow seeds and you watch some of them grow, this business is fun.
Now after this Zoom is finished, I have to call him back and welcome him to the team.
Yeah, do it. Do a Zoom with them and share with them, because the number one thing that I think that each and every one of you can do to really help people get along is just like Jody did when she got on here. How many of you are willing to admit that you overthink things? Did you see my hands go up too? It's like it's just human for us to go, well, I don't know what to do, and I wonder if I'm doing this wrong, and if I'm doing this right or doing this wrong. People don't realize that if you just said, I'd like to get on a Zoom and get to know you better, congratulate you on being an affiliate. And what I first want to do is get to know you and find out what is important to you. Because if you find out what's important to them and then you solve their problem, you show them a theoretical on how to make it happen, then what you did is you listened to them and now you're sharing with them how you can fulfill their dreams of what they're looking for. And that is, so everybody else, you know, wants to try to figure out how to close somebody instead of just finding the right people and helping them get involved and help them do what they need to do. So James, congratulations. Did you have a question in that, or was that just a win?
That was a win. And my only question is, well, actually it's a combination. I was like, I looked at the webinar that was on, and I'm looking at these packages. I'm looking at all this stuff. I'm looking at all these different ways that people do things. I'm looking,
Right.
and then I think, wait a minute. Robert Hollis doesn't do all that. He doesn't do all that. What does he do? For the first time, I began to shut down. I mean, I'm an open person. But
Yeah.
I began to shut down what was not important.
Yeah,
I opened my mind
this
to what
business-
was important.
yeah, this business is, again, you guys, the reason that I teach the way I teach is because I was exposed to this industry the wrong way the first 2 weeks. And still to this day, if the guy made one perfect move. He told me that if I didn't go to an event, that he wasn't going to work with me anymore. And then I went and asked somebody that walked the stage for help. And he's the one that asked me, so who's your money person? He said, who's your money man? And I was like, I don't understand what you're talking about. He's going, well, how about your sponsor? You know, what's your sponsor? And so it was amazing that he said, listen, you got to call the company. And in our conversation is you need to be working with a super affiliate. So people can't take you to a place they've never been.
It's true.
And so, you know, so that's when I reached out to the person that was in my upline that was the highest position. And I said, listen, I want to learn how to do this business. And he says, well, get in a car and come see me. I said, yes, sir. And I didn't tell him I didn't have any money. I slept in my car while I learned from him. Man, he did the business different. So, you know, when I told him that I didn't have any money and my electricity was shut off, he immediately shut me down, James. He said, listen, don't worry about that. Yeah, I don't need your money to teach you how to do this. And so if you guys hear why I'm so focused on doing business that way, is because like Chris Robinson said in that training today, it's like, you know, when you're dealing with people that make $200 a month US, you know, talking about them starting with a package is like, and see, and I'm not trying to be mean here, but if the group of leaders are saying that this is the way to be successful, then everyone's going, well, I can't do that, so I guess I won't be successful.
Mm.
You see what I mean? It's like I can't do that. And it's sort of like, you know, the first time that I heard of no money down real estate, my first thought is, you might be able to get a piece of property for no money down if you know what you're doing. So see, that was my problem. I was going, but you got to know what you're doing to do that. Well, I have the answer for you, James. For a low cost of $4,999, my course will teach you how to do this. And I went, they set me up. They set me up. The one question that I had is I don't know what to do to get no money down real estate. Well, if you buy this package, I'll teach you. So, I'm not upset that other people do the business wrong, because I believe that the way people are brought into this industry is the way they do it. And I just thank God, every single day, a number of times a day, that the mentor that brought me into this business, the second one, my only mentor, because the other ones were pretenders. But the first people that taught me how to do this business were imposters. I thought they knew what they were doing, and they did not. So thank you, James. I really appreciate you, brother. You mean so much to me.
I want to say one last thing. He's texting me now, and he's telling me I will work on an email to everyone I have in my contacts. I will also make a text for. He's telling me all of these.
Yeah.
You know what I told him? You know what I told him? I told him, stop. We need to get on a Zoom.
Good.
Stop.
Good. Send him a message as soon as you get off here, as soon as we stop. Send him a message and say, I just brought up your name. What's his name?
His name is Michael.
That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say. So
his name is Michael.
Tell him I'm on a Zoom right now with my mentor talking about you, and he said we need to do a Zoom together.
Easy.
All right, James, I love you, man.
Wow. This is what's so awesome. It's in real time. James, thank you so much for sharing that. That's incredible. And that's what these are all about. Just, seeing how we better and take each other to the next level. Bless you. Thank you. Robert,
thank you.
Wow. And James too. Wow. Great share. Great share. Okay. Now, I hope I pronounced your name, Sharon, correctly, because you're up next, and I hope you will let me know how to pronounce your last name. I hope I did it right. If not, I'm sorry.
With me being dyslexic, I'm going to try it before she says it.
Okay, go for
Sneedman.
Ziesman.
I'm sorry.
So if the easiest way to just say it's Hungarian, but it's like a Z man. So
Okay.
Zeman.
Zeman. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So
I wasn't too far off.
No, I like
Oh.
your Ziesman though.
Sharon Zeman. There you are. Let's go
But
ahead
I take
and share.
whatever.
Please.
So one of my first questions is, do you friend request anyone, or do you have specific things that you look for on their profile?
Yeah, I do a couple of seconds on their profile. I really, really, really do. I think that every one of you don't have to be trained in social media to see whether or not it's a fake account. You know what I mean? So it's got like 3 or 4 pictures, no friends yet. You know what I mean? It's and depending on if I have time or not, Sharon, I'll actually say to them, I would love to connect with you. Is there any way you would share your real profile with me? That's what I say to them, and usually they don't do it. They don't. But yeah, I don't. But like I shared with Mary, it's funny when my first goal was to get to 5,000 friends, and then work backwards to connect with those friends and delete the ones that wouldn't reply or didn't reply correctly or ask me to marry them, or don't you love people that say, hey, is there any way you could send me a picture? I'm going, other than the one on my profile. You know what I mean? So I do spend very little time with them, Sharon, but I really do give everyone a benefit of the doubt. Now that I'm like on a couple of different social medias, I immediately realized why I probably stopped those when I first got in, because it's like, and maybe it's just me. Maybe I got to get rid of my wrong thinking, right? Man, the people that reach out to me on Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn. I'm just like, I'm going like, oh my God, it's like I feel those social medias are, you're connected with a group of people that have alternative motives of making what they want happen. You know, they're selling whatever they're selling, right? So yeah, it's pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy. But I do like, well, you know, they'll say hello. And my response, Sharon, is sometimes when people are reaching out to me, see me, if they're reaching out to me, I always say something that immediately will throw them off, so I know whether they're just spamming. So if you reached out and said hello, my response would be, hello, Sharon, how long have you been in My Daily Choice? And the response is, so where do you live? See that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I've had those.
because I do realize that, you know, I think they're all robots. I think every one of them are robots. You know what I mean? So, or a person that's not trying to connect, so they're just typing responses in. And so, but yeah, at the beginning, I accepted every friend request until I got to 5K, and then I started doing, you know, the backwards deal. So I started. It's neat for me because have you heard what I do with birthdays?
I just know that you send them out
Yeah, so
post
every
out.
day I go to that place where it shows the birthdays, right? And I would leave you a message. I always leave a private name, and I'd say, Sharon, you're a blessing. I wish you an amazing day and year. Happy birthday. And so when I do that, I immediately scroll down their page to see if they did anything with the last message that I sent them. And if I don't see they received a birthday message, and then I'm going to leave you a birthday message the next year with a private message.
Oh, okay.
And this is how I delete people every single day. It takes me, you know, sometimes there are anywhere from 11 to 30 people that I have to do that with. But that's how I clean out the people to add the other people.
Okay.
Cool. Any other questions?
Not at this time, I don't think. I think that was it.
You guys know I'm here for you. If you have something that comes up, I'm here to help you every step.
Yeah, it's just a very slow process.
Did you guys see that video that I put on YouTube and my Facebook wall with the 47 rank advancements? How many of you guys looked at that and went, yeah, that's got to happen in my group in 1 month, right? I think the most that I've had when I built a Hungarian group exactly the same way. I went out there. That's why I'm going to Nigeria. So I challenged the Hungary group that if they all together did 25K, I was coming out. They did that in December. I went out mid-January, and I spent I think 8 days out there. And from me just sharing my back office is what I do, man. Because I don't know of a faster presentation than that. Do you guys know a faster presentation than that? You know, it's like, I guess, Craig, you got to get ready for the income disclosure statement.
All right.
Okay. So, you know, it's like, I just go like this. I just say, you know, hey, do you know anybody that would like, what is that, 17,000 people responsible for your income? You know, do you know anybody? I've been with the company, you know, 5.5 years. Do you know anyone that would like that, make that kind of money? Do you guys know not once in my career have I had someone go, what's the product? I've never, it's never happened to me. Because their thing is like, well, apparently this guy knows how to get people responsible for his income. I'll figure the rest out as I go. But we had, I think the biggest one that I've had since I've been with the company is 113 rank advances in a month. That's pretty cool. So I had all the people in Nigeria bothering me every day for the first month and a half. And then last month they all got paid. I mean, last Thursday they all got paid. And I don't know why none of them are calling me anymore. Because how many of you guys think they're showing their back office now instead of mine? The people are always going like, when do I get to stop showing your back office when you can show them yours? So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Sharon, thank you. And
Sharon,
yeah,
thank you.
success leaves clues. Boom. Okay, John Tier, Jerome Marshall, Deborah Bronner, you guys are coming up. Thank you so much for being patient. John Tier, let's do this. Open up your mic and please share.
Hey, Craig, I thought you were about to say, here's Johnny.
You know what I
fine.
thought? If John, I wasn't going to say anything, but I thought John Cena.
Here's Johnny.
Oh my goodness, man. This is an exciting time to be alive in life. Let's just say
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
So just a couple of quick things.
sure.
They went through doing this purge and I guess some more people popped up, in
Yeah.
my line.
I think everybody, I was going like, I got 6,900 people that are front level and everybody's going, well, what's going to happen when the purge happens? Well, now I have 11,800. So yeah, it's like the purge wasn't a bad deal for me.
Yeah. I think mine was like 240 something. Now it's like 262,
Yeah.
So it just went, and I was like, oh, okay. So, you say sometimes that you reach out in the back office
Yeah.
and send them a message. How do they get notified with that? Do they automatically get notified or do they have to log in to get the notification?
When they log in, they see it. But also when I was just showing you guys the app, you'll see on the app where I got one person that's got a chat message for me. So, one of the ladies in Nigeria.
Okay. So they have to log in. They have to log in to know that they have a message.
Yep.
Okay.
No. They if it's on their app, when they look at the app, that it'll do a notification if they have their. Maybe you have to set the notifications up.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. So in other words, if they're not connected, they won't know anything. It won't come back to an email or anything like that.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, I respond on that. So that might be a cool thought. Take a little bit of your time each day and find out people in your back office that have rolled up to you and say, hey, with the purge, I see that you're in my organization. Is there anything I can do to help you? Blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Okay. I did think about that one that I always like this one. If I could show you how to earn money without investing a dime, would you be interested in knowing more?
Yeah.
I like that. That is so strong.
Yeah. It again, virtually everything that I say to people has their best interest.
Yeah.
So I think I've shared with you guys before, but I've let some really, really successful people read this book. And then after they read it, I go, if there was one thing you got out of this book, what would you say it was? And they said, now I know why you have so much fun and why you're so successful, because you really, really pre-qualify your people. Now, I'm not from sales, so Bob might be going, I know exactly what you're talking about. You know what I mean? But I go, pre-qualified. Well, no, the way you say it in the book is you only have conversations with interested people. He goes, I talk to uninterested people all damn day. And he said, I said, well, that's interesting. I said, how do you know they're uninterested? And he says, because of the questions they ask. It's like, if you guys are trying to pique someone's interest and their response is, what is this? How well did they watch the short video? Like, not at all?
Right.
It'd be like someone doing, I know you guys have seen really good infomercials. Can you imagine watching a good infomercial and then saying, I really don't understand what this is? To me, that'd be only two things. Is one, I'm guilty of watching something and not paying attention. But that would be not interested. Do you guys understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then there's other people that watch it. And we see this even on the video that we do, you know, Steps of Success and Freedom. We get spikes on the video where people rewind it. That's an interested person. You know what I mean? It's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Was that like 4.5 million? That's like, they go back a little bit. So yeah, it's like, and so that is what I do. I am not interested. In fact, I think I shared this with you guys when there wasn't an internet and cell phone. Of course, I did a lot of one-on-ones, right? And 2-on-1s at restaurants and stuff. Denny's was my restaurant. And when I say this to you guys, how many of you guys know when I got in this business, I had zero money?
Yeah.
And you just got to keep asking questions to people that are already where you want to go. I'll never forget this funny question. I called Bill and I said, okay, I'm looking for a solution. He got really good at training me because I used to be the person that says, here's my problem, you know? So I would stop because I'm aware and I go, I can't say that to him. He jumps all over my ass when I say that. So I went, I need your help I need your help with a solution. And he would go, very good, Robert. And I go, I currently don't have the funds to put gas in my automobile. So when I connect with somebody and I tell them that I want to meet them over a cup of coffee to show a theoretical example, how can I solve that? And he said, Robert, is there a restaurant within walking distance of your apartment? I said, yes, sir. And he goes, great. Find out where they're located and tell them, just ask them if they've heard of a city that's the same distance away from the restaurant as you are. He goes, I don't want you lying. And I said, I don't understand. And he said, well, if you're meeting with John Tier, you would say to them, John, so you live in Chicago? No. I live, where do you live, John?
Chicago.
See? So, John, you live in Chicago. Yeah. Have you heard of Minneapolis?
Yes.
Okay, great. Why don't we meet at a restaurant there?
It's way too far from me.
See what I mean? So
Right.
you would go, well, where do you live? Well, I live
Right.
in Montana. That's halfway between us.
Mm.
See, I didn't. But where do I really live? Minneapolis.
Right.
So I had this Denny's restaurant that I could go to. And so people would call me from the LA, right? And I say, listen, do you know where Encino is? Yeah, in the valley. Yeah. And I said, well, you know where Thousand Oaks is? Oh, yeah, that's in Ventura County. I said, why don't we meet in Encino? And see, I didn't lie, but they immediately, because of using words correctly, they assumed that I brought up Thousand Oaks because I lived there. So that would be a restaurant we could meet halfway between where they are and where I am. So that was my office.
Okay.
So I brought all that up to say to you guys is that, you know, in situations like this, what you want to do is you want to use words that work for them. So when you said, hey, listen, my goal is to help you, get an extra paycheck into your family, or if I could show you how to do this without you investing a dime, would you be interested? Here's the other one where I always switch it. You guys see me switch it all the time. I say, John, it's really important for you to understand that the only reason that I'm connecting with you right now is because Jody told me that you knew people that would be interested in this. I all the way through the conversation, I keep taking it away. So when I started doing 2-on-1s where Jody would bring you to the Denny's restaurant to meet me, the very first thing that I would do is I'd sit down, I say, so John, if you don't mind me asking, why are you looking for to start your own business?
Do you do that on a Zoom? Do you do that on a Zoom too?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And all of a sudden you go, well, to be honest with you, Robert, I'm not. And I said, so we're sitting here because you're doing Jody a favor. Yeah, to be honest with you, Jody wouldn't leave me alone unless I met with you. And I go, well, if you're not interested in starting a business, how about we just talk about other things like your family or what you love or whatever. Every time that I took the presentation away from them, I would say, so, do you work in the area? Do you have kids? They would answer a couple of questions and then they'd go, listen, I took time off to come here to hear about what Jody's so excited about. So since I'm here, why don't you tell me? Man, because now they're asking me, they're giving me permission to tell them what Jody's excited about. Did you guys catch that? Now, that was only 4 or 5 minutes until John said, I want to hear what's going on. Then I would take it away again. And I said, well, I don't know what Jody exactly has shared with you, John, but understand she's introduced me to people that can help us find people that need to make extra money right now. Almost every time. Well, listen, once I hear about it, I could use some extra money for me and my family. Well, listen, if that's something you want to check out, then great, And so what a different way of just getting them to answer a few questions so that they're interested now. So that's how I got on this, you guys, is that, and that can go back to what Bob said. If your curiosity, killed the cat, if in your connection with these people, if you're asking them questions that make them feel like you're not trying to sell them and you're not trying to get them to do something that they don't want to do.
But Robert, how would you do that on a Zoom? I get the one-on-one because it sounds like they hadn't really seen anything. They're just actually coming to meet you. But now when we fast forward here, 21st century, how would that work, after they've actually seen something and.
Yeah. So the very first thing that I would say to them is, hey, John, when I first reached out to you, Jody told me about you. When I first reached out to you, again, the reason that we did is she knew that you would know people that we could help that would like an extra payday for their family. And so, so that's what I want to focus on. I want to share with you exactly a theoretical example on how we can get an extra payday starting out on a month and then by every week, how we can get extra paydays into people's pocket. So I'm always educating the person based on what I'm going to do for the people that they're going to introduce me to, but they're listening because of them.
Okay. Yeah.
So you wouldn't believe how fast on a Zoom I'll get to your magic question.
Now, do you do that before you show them the theoretical example or after?
During. Yeah.
So you have are you showing your presentation, or are you actually, how are you doing that?
Yeah. When you guys see me do the video for $5,000,
right?
The only thing that I'm doing different than that video, I'm not showing them a video of me doing a video.
Right.
So what I'm doing is I take that same Google presentation that's with the slides, and I do that with them.
Okay. So you do it as a slideshow. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll send that to you guys because I do it with
Yeah.
paper as well.
Okay. Yeah. Because I was just using the video, but I mean, either way,
Well,
it seems.
When
Well,
I
go
first started, John, of course I used my mentor doing the theoretical.
Right.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The only challenge I had now is I can't figure out, like when you share things, you have your screen up there, and you still, for some reason, mine just I can't see myself when I'm sharing this screen. I don't know what happened. It used to be easy to do
When
that.
you do a Zoom?
Yeah, it used to be easy to do that. Now they've changed some things. I'm like, well, where is my picture at? I mean, where I don't know what's going on there.
Well, sort of, to be honest, I probably wouldn't need to see myself. I probably need to see you, but
Right. But I don't see anybody. All I see is just the screen.
there's got to be something that you're not clicking on.
Yeah.
Because if you hit them, there is a way that you can hide them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You can hide their videos and so you can't see them. So me, when I shared my screen right there, there was a thing that went to the side that had all the people's videos in it.
Right.
And up at the top there's like, 2 or 3 things. I think I could make them totally disappear. Or
Okay.
so yeah, if you can't see them if you can't see you and them,
Right.
when you're doing that, yeah, there's just got to be a setting someplace on Zoom.
Okay. I'm gonna test it out. Then I'll get somebody up and I'll try to just kind of work with it and try to figure out where it is. Yeah. And only last thing I want to say is, Robert, are you coming to Chicago when I hit 25K?
Why wouldn't I?
Okay.
Yeah, why wouldn't I? The only difference would be it would be me just breaking bread with you and your family. Because if you're doing the business the way I'm doing it, there shouldn't be anyone in Chicago.
I don't know. I got a lot of people here.
Well, hey, if I'll tell you what, we definitely, if you got people there, I'll sit down with every damn one of them.
Okay. I'm gonna hold you to it. Well, else I'm gonna search you out.
Yeah, it's when I show up when I show up in Legos, I know there's going to be people traveling all around that are going to show up at Legos because I'm there.
Mhm.
And so if they bring people to there, what I usually do is just set my butt at a nice hotel, especially when you're traveling international, you want to be in a very secure place. And they just bring people all day, every day. From the time that I get up and have a breakfast with somebody, and I'm either sitting in the lobby or one of the restaurants the entire day, I'll work the entire day. And it's just like, I'll end up talking to 40, 50 people a day, just one right after another, after another, after another.
That's awesome. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you. Always
I appreciate you too, John.
It's
Love
so
you.
insightful. Just, when you think you know stuff, you go, well, let me give you a little bit more. And you go, oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah, this is the biggest reason for doing Ask Me Anythings, because, what I love about doing Ask Me Anythings is every one of you are asking me different questions based on where you are in the process.
Yeah.
Figuring out the next little step. And then, so when people listen to Ask Me Anythings, then it seems like all the parts are there. You start getting all the parts, because there's really not any reason to know what you don't know if you're not part of the process. It's like, if you're a drag racer, your goal is to make sure that car goes in a straight line for the seconds that you're doing it. You show up at a road course, you probably would not know some things.
Right. I'm realizing that, some things you're not going to know except by going through the process.
Right.
And I'm learning really, and really, my focus really now is just the process, not anything else. It's just really big focus on the process. And when things happen, I just say to myself, that's just part of the process.
Yeah,
That's just part of
and
the
here's one of
process.
the things I think I told you guys that Joshua, I got it confirmed now. Joshua is going to be in the podcast for this week coming up.
Okay.
And I already told him that I want to make sure that you guys are asking questions while I'm doing the podcast. And you know, I always try to figure out what's this thing. You know, you guys have always heard me use the analogy that, you know, in the scriptures in the Bible and also in other religions, it always says that you know, you're not knowing as an expert in your own town. You know,
Yeah.
the saying goes is Jesus couldn't do any good works in his own hometown,
Right.
because everybody looked at him, aren't you the carpenter's son?
Right. Right.
I think
Unbelief.
it's pretty interesting if you guys hear that, because people didn't even acknowledge that Jesus was a carpenter.
Right. You're right. You're right.
Of course, he worked for his father, so he probably knew a lot about carpenter, but it was like, aren't you the carpenter's son?
Mm-hmm.
So you're the son of somebody that knows how to do an art or some kind of craft or skill.
Mm-hmm.
So he couldn't do any good works there because no one believed in his ability to be the Messiah or Jesus. No, he was the carpenter's son. So that's why
Right.
the expert from afar. So the other thing it talks about is 2 by 2.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I've never, ever, ever forgotten is that there's some kind of magic that someone perceives when you meet somebody and they're talking about somebody else. They never talk about them. And that's a really lost magic and science in this industry.
Mhm.
So when I met you for the first time, John, it's always, hey, listen, I was hoping you could do me a huge personal favor. I'm helping this company expand. And right now they're looking for people that need to supplement or replace their income. And I was hoping you could do me a favor, and I'd really appreciate it. I don't want you to give me somebody's name if you don't know what this is. So if I can send you a short video on my business partner, my friend, where he's not only documenting what he's done, but he also shows you how to create a free affiliate account, just like you would on Facebook. So I'm always in the mode of asking you to help me help somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always giving praise and recognition to somebody else. And you'll notice that a majority of the people that I know will say things the opposite because of ego. So
You know,
what
it's
they'll
interesting.
do is they'll say, hey, John, I was wondering if you'd like to get in business with me. Or John, I was wondering if you'd like to make 10 grand a month. And well, what is this? Well, I'm an international global expansion leader for whatever damn company. And so what they do is they put all the accolades to themselves, and they know the info, and they want to do the presentation.
You know, Robert, that's very, very spiritual.
Yes.
Because Jesus bore witness of the Father, and when he sent the Spirit bore witness of Jesus.
Yeah. And
I mean,
so,
and he says he won't bear witness of himself.
Like I was explaining to Jody, when I go to a nonprofit or go to anybody, I go there with a sense of, I don't know what you do, and I would love it if you would tell me a little bit about you and what you do so I can help you make that happen. Those conversations and connections are magical because it messes with their head. Because as soon as you say, well, John, do you got a minute? Really, the person in their mind, even when someone reaches out cold market to you and says hello, isn't the first thought you think, ah, crap. What the hell does this person want? You know, because they're immediately going to start pitching you on who they are and what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and,
that was a question.
And I don't give them, I don't ever do that to people.
Robert, just one quick thing here. Just
sure.
After you send the Science of Getting Rich, do you immediately ask them to do you a favor? Yep. Even if they haven't responded to the Science of Getting Rich?
Yeah, I probably would give them, I definitely would do it after you see the mark that shows that they seen it.
Right.
Then
Okay.
that would be the only thing where I do through assumption, right? I just
Okay.
assume they seen it. Hey, John, here's $100 bill.
Mhm.
Okay. Hey, listen, I was wondering if you could do me a huge personal favor.
Right. But
I'm like, why wouldn't you want to help out other people? See, that's where I think that people are getting too messed up in their thinking. I'm okay with asking you for a favor to help me get somebody that needs to make extra money after giving you a gift. If someone reached out to me the other day and said, well, when do you do the next response? And I said to him the same thing I just said to you. I was going, you just gave them a gift and you just connected with them. You're only looking for them to introduce you to somebody that needs to make extra money.
right.
Well, I don't feel right asking them to help me out. Then you don't believe that the gift that you gave them was worth the gift of giving. You see what I mean?
Now,
Have you
even
guys
if they
seen this thing? John, sorry to interrupt you.
No,
Have
no,
you
no.
seen this thing where people are doing right now with giving? Because people are weird. People are freaking weird. So now it's this new thing is these people that are giving away all this money had to figure out how to interact with weird people. So this is what they say now. Hey, John, I have $500 here. Do you want it or do you want me to double it and give it to the next person? Because they're still trying to figure out how do you interact with people that are just zombies. They're not interested and they're not the right people at the right time. So these people are wasting their camera time because those are edits. Hey, John, would you like $500? Get away from me. It's like, see, that doesn't work good in a video.
Mhm.
Are you setting me up? Is this scam? Is this real money? Leave me alone. And they're going, what could we say to these, pardon my language? Now, I'll be really nice. What could we say to these non-interested people? And that's how they had to figure out. Sharon's laughing. He was going, yeah, he was going to go there. And then he became really nice all of a sudden. And it's like, so now they walk up and they're startled, right? Because you're there. And of course they see a camera and you got a mic in your hand. So I can understand they're alone like, oh crap, what is this? And I go, hey, listen, I would like to give this $500 to you, or you could say no, and I'll double it and give it to the next person. What would you like me to do? And now they have a majority of the people go, double it, give it to the next person. So now that makes that makes the coverage more interesting because you're going to go, did that person just turn down $500 and now they're going to go to the next person? That person's going to turn down 1,000. And then it's going to go to the next person. That person's going to turn down 2,000. Yes. You watch these videos and you're going like, man. And maybe you got that out of me, John, like you get everything else out of me, is how many of you right now are going, I got a lot of people that I could help with $500. I'll take the $500. I don't need to double it and give it to somebody else. I'll give it to someone in need.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that I would pass up the money, you guys? No damn yes. Does it feel comfortable? No, I still don't feel comfortable by you guys doing super chats. How do I get past the super chat? The money's going to the orphans. That money's going to the children. Mm-hmm. See, because if you tried to give me money, I'm probably going to be a non-interested person as well. Robert, listen, here's $500. If I don't have a place for it to go, I'd probably say double it and give it to somebody else. Do you guys see that? Mm-hmm. So that's when you sort of got to really realize that what do you say to the majority of people that are not interested? Because I'm still blown away with this one, John. Hey, listen, do you know anyone right now that needs to make extra money? To be honest with you, I don't know people.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know.
Nice. Yeah. And depending on how I feel, I will say, listen, if we get to know each other better, I can make sure that that's never something you ever say again. I'll leave it with this. One time I did a Q&A in front of a large audience. I think Craig might have been there. And I always did objections in front of the room. And this one girl, sweet as can be, she probably was like in her mid-20s, and she raised her hand, and it was one of these, with no eye contact. And I went, you, and she was like, she says, what if you're not a people person? And I would go, would you like to be a people person? And she lit up like a light bulb. And she goes, yeah, I would like to be a people person. And I said, I can help you with that. See what I mean? And I've had people go, well, what if you don't know anybody? Or what if all my friends and family have no money? See, people know those are stupid questions, but it's real to them.
Right.
It's 100% real to them. There's still people that you guys haven't approached that watch this live or recorded that you haven't approached them because they have no money. But that's a judgment that you made instead of giving them the opportunity to help somebody else. That's how I get in the door.
Well, and because of the way our opportunity is set up, it doesn't matter if they have any money.
Yeah. The other thing is, how many people do you guys know that would never do this?
Yeah.
So in your mind they won't do this. Why not tell them that? Why not tell
I know
them that?
you won't do this, however.
Hey, John, I was thinking of you. You got a minute? Sure. You got to know some people that need extra money right now. Well, what is this? You would never do it anyway. Why are you even asking that question? How do you know I wouldn't? John, I know you. You're one of those people that can find something wrong with every solution. I am not. Come on. Do you think you're supportive and positive? You find something wrong with everything. So I could share it with you so you could tell me all the stuff that are wrong, but then you wouldn't share it with people that really needed my help.
Robert, that's why you're the grandmaster.
It really honestly is actually saying stuff that is the opposite of your first response. That is a habit that I've learned, because at the beginning I was that unaware person. If someone said no to me, this person needed to be crucified and scrapped off my list. So I told people, listen, when you're reaching out to people, don't take it personal. Well, I sure the hell did. And I really took it personal. It's like, why do you think I'm such an idiot that I can't tell a business opportunity from a real scam? You know what I mean? I really took it personal. I was like, why can't you help a brother out? John, don't you know I helped you move twice? I put brakes on your car. This is what you're doing for me. No, I am not. You are off the list, brother. Yeah, the first guy was, learned, like, people would reach out to me. What are you doing now? You know what I mean? Been a while since I talked to you. You know me, I still go door to door selling cosmetics. And they go, why did you say that? And I go, because that's what you heard. You were being nice by asking me what I do now. Yeah, you're right. Are you really interested in what I do? Not really. Then why'd you ask? See that, who is it? Curb Your Enthusiasm. I just love Larry David because he asked the questions. Is like, he was the one that did the skit where if I asked you, John, listen, what's going on? Well, listen, we got some things that are not, really the best they could be in our family right now. I got some stuff. I'm taking care of my sister. She's having some difficulty, and we're doing some stuff with our parents too. And then what's the phrase? The phrase is, well, John, listen, if you need anything or you need my help, just let me know. Larry David calls that an empty suggestion.
You don't really mean that,
So some guy, I forget who it was, and Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm. He said, well, listen, if you need anything, let me know. And the guy said, you know what? I do have some errands that we'll do tomorrow. And can you come over like at 8:30 and watch my sister for me while I go do these errands? And Larry David went, when I said that, I wasn't serious.
Yeah. I think polite.
If you need anything, let me know. Did you just say that? Was that an empty gesture?
Right.
Because how many of us do that?
Yeah.
We're like, hey, you need any help, just let me know. What if someone called you on it?
Or like, I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
Let's pray right now then,
Very cool, John. I always love connecting with you. It's awesome.
Man, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man.
John, thank you. And you know what, Robert? Okay, I got to follow that up. That just on that joke, funny thing. When people ask, okay, is there anything else I can get you? Sometimes I will say, yeah, you got an extra $1,000. It throws them for a loop, and they, oh, okay. But yeah, exactly. It's
my wife's been trying to get me to change the screen on the screen door. Is there any way you could? Oh my God! But none of us.
Oh boy. Okay, I got 3 more people with questions. Right. Are we good?
Yeah,
we're good. Okay. Jerome Marshall, Deborah Bronner, and I have a question from Ola Meyer coming up. So,
voila!
Jerome, yes, Jerome, there you go. Please open up and share with us.
Hola! I love saying that. I'll be saying that sometime in the shower, along with Kai's name. Man, this is wonderful. First of all, I praise God for you and for Craig. Welcome back, my brother.
Bless you. Thank you.
I have my brand new affiliate from Nigeria on the line with us, Ezime. But him and I were talking, and he was asking me about the shipping costs from my daily trades to Nigeria. Do you have any idea of how much that costs?
Yeah, it's nothing.
It's nothing. All right, my man.
Yeah, because in certain countries, there really isn't a reliable shipping. You try to ship something to some place and it just ends up getting stolen or never goes there. So if people buy product in Nigeria, they go to the Lagos office and pick it up. Okay. Yeah, because I told him I was like, I'll definitely ask him and ask you and if anybody know. And plus, I of course invited him and he's here, so awesome. He has the answer, so that's cool. Yeah. There's I'm sure there might be some kind of shipping that's available, but I know right now most people that order their product, they want to get it right away. And here's the real thing: they want to get it. Yeah. They want to get it. And so my top person there, Joshua Daramella, when I first met him, I don't remember what city he lived in or what village or whatever he lived in Nigeria, but it took him 6 hours and 2 buses to go one direction to pick up the product at Lagos, and then he would go back. So there's a number of people. I'm learning some new stuff about Nigeria. There's some people that do what is called, I don't know what the word is. It's something list. And if you become a certain rank, then they will allow you to buy product, extra product And then what you do is you take that extra product back to where you live. And then when people give you NIRA, then what you do is you can go into your back office and create their position with the order that they did, and you get the NIRA, pay yourself back, and then give them the product right there.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And he, Esme put his hand up. So, yeah.
Hi, Esme. Nice to see you. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got there's at least 7 people last Thursday, at least 7 people that made over $3,000 their first month in Nigeria right now. So
Yeah.
as fast as Nigeria is growing right now in the last couple of months, right now the forecast of how fast Nigeria is growing is we believe that they'll be the #1 country at the end of August.
We discussed that yesterday when we were talking, because he had those questions, and I told him, I was like, I definitely don't, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll definitely get the answer. And that's why I do all my affiliates and customers. If they have questions that I can't answer, I'll definitely get the answer.
Yeah,
you know?
we have a incredible woman there named Ada, and she's been with Josh and Jenna. I mean, Josh and Chris Robinson, I think for like 12 years. And so MDC is only 9 years old. So
Right.
she was with them in another company marketing exactly the same product that helps people with their fuel. And the reason that it's going so crazy in Nigeria is because the fuel in Nigeria is not as clean as it is in other countries. So it doesn't work as well. So when you add this to it, not only do you get more kilometers per tank,
Right.
but
right.
your vehicle runs better. It like really, truly runs better. So if you can get people a product that works every single time, and it's really, truly making them money for using the product, that's why it's going bananas there.
Yeah, and we discussed the sachet, part of it, then the $5 or what have you, because he was telling me that people in Nigeria, a lot of people in Nigeria don't have a lot of money, so
Right.
I definitely understand that. So let's baby steps. You taught me something, man, a couple of days ago about baby steps, and I'm taking it too hard. You know what I'm saying? So he also is a doctor, and he has his own charity, which I'm going to announce that I'm going to be giving to his charity starting at the end of this month. So
That's
he's
awesome.
going to be the third charity that I'll give to. So I thank you so much, man.
No. I'm here, and make sure that you give him my Facebook link to reach out to me and connect me with him in a group chat on Facebook, and anything that I can do to help you guys. I'm right now in the process of getting my visa to come to Nigeria and spend a couple of weeks with you guys. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So that to Josh's interview with you, man, that's gonna be off the chain, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, so thank you so much, man. I love you, man.
You bet. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
While we're talking about SMA, SMA, did you want to share with us a question? Go ahead. I just sent you an unmute, so please open up and share.
All right. I'm so delighted to be here. Robert, you've been amazing. You've been cracking me up. I mean, your psychology is just, I was just like, I'm new here, but it's just been, I've been like, oh wow. Your mind, man.
Thank you. 36 years ago, I got hurt and I couldn't provide for my family. So I got down on the one knee that I had left and told God that if he helped me get out of that situation, that I was going to spend the rest of my life helping other people get out of there. And so it's really interesting. In my 36 years, I'm always led and find people in countries where the majority of the people are not doing well. So in Nigeria, the average person makes $750 US, so you know, we know the currency is so crazy there. So when an average person is making 250,000 naira a month, and it's like, then all of a sudden the inflation happens and the gas prices triple. Yeah, my heart's for people like you. My heart's for people like you in your country. So I always end up building large organizations with people that when you show them how to make money, their work ethic is unlike anything we can find in the United States. It's like the people in the United States, man, they got big screen TVs and a smartphone and Wi-Fi, and they're talking about how poor they are. It's like, no, I'll take you to some areas where I'll show you poor. You know what I mean? So I love helping people that love God too. They, people in Nigeria, their first thing is God, and their second thing is their family. So
Exactly.
you make a Nigerian money, and you're taking care of hundreds of people.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
You know yep. Jerome, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for, Jerome is an amazing person,
Yes.
bringing me into this family, there's nothing like when you come into a place, you are new, and then you feel at home somehow. You just
Yeah.
feel, okay, there's this okay, relationship going on, and there's this cracking, everybody's just cracking, and
Yeah.
there's fun.
Amen. Amen. That's the
I'm
spirit.
a believer. Yeah, yeah. So I love that, and that's just it looks like there's a sync, apart from anything we're all talking about business and how, but that sync between Jody, between Craig, between you, Joran, there's a sync. So there's a kind of connections, and I mean that's my admiration, So I admire that, and happy to be here.
Can't fake. People know whether or not you care. They really, we listen to people and we're like judgmental, but you can't fake sincerity. You can't fake if you truly love people, you can't fake it. It's like, so welcome to the family. Welcome to the family.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Gentlemen,
Bless you
thank you.
too.
Jerome, SMA, welcome to the family. We're really happy to have you here with us. All right. And appreciate you stepping in, SMA, as well. That's awesome. Okay, let's continue to move on. I got Deborah Bronner and a question from Ola coming up. So, Deborah, please open up and share with us. There you go. You got it.
Okie dokie. Hi, Robert. I'm so glad you're there.
Hi, Deborah. I love you.
Thank you for being my family. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I've listened to everybody thoroughly today and got so many things answered. I was going to unraise my hand if I knew how to do that.
Well, I'm glad that you came on anyway, and I love you, and yeah, that's why I love doing these Ask Me Anythings, because people have questions and sometimes they get answered while you're doing it. But
yes,
I always love seeing your face. And
this is a big important step. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, I always love seeing you and hearing your voice.
I don't just want to be seen. I want to start taking action. I know the action. God knows I've been around long enough.
Yeah.
I need to ask a very sincere question, especially today. I'm being emotional. So the question is how to get past, like today, for example, and last week, all week, I have had to deal with technical issues with my phone. Currently, it's the only device I'm able to get on your calls with.
Okay.
That will change very soon, I'm praying. But right now, I'm having technical issues, and this time it doesn't have anything to do with me. So my phone stopped working yesterday, receiving phone calls, audio. I know how to do all the settings on my phone. I actually had to hire a transport van last week to go physically get out of the house in a transport van to T-Mobile, who told me to get a replacement phone and insurance because they couldn't unstraighten the problems. So I decided to wait until after my birthday. So today is my birthday, and I woke up. I had lots of people calling me from last night, and I'm not able to answer the phone. All the settings are correct, volume's up, all the other places like do not disturb, they're all correct. So this morning, I made sure the phone was thoroughly charged, and the same people been calling me with birthday messages that I haven't even been able to react to, respond to, answer the phone whatsoever. And so I immediately at 8 o'clock called T-Mobile, was on the phone just on a Saturday. I wasn't planning to do this till after my birthday. So not on Saturday, not on a Robert Hollis day. So what I realized though, while I was on hold with them, at T-Mobile, trying to get someone to answer. Well, they answered, then put me on hold for an hour and 49 minutes. So then I got a technical person, and we've been on the phone until the beginning of your call, which I hated, until 12:17. That was it. Coming on late today to you, and that breaks my heart alone. Because I had problems on the breakthrough last week, technically, too. So this is something the guy couldn't even believe was all happening at once. A technical T-Mobile guy. I told him I was told to get the phone replaced, and he said definitely. But in the meantime, he had to do a whole reset and of my setting, complete reset of everything today at 12:09. So I'm like worried as hell things aren't going to work for even getting on late to your call. The reason why it was important, because people were calling that I didn't even expect to call or think they'd call about my birthday wishes today. And the fact that I couldn't respond, but I got here, showed me so much. You are my priority. I mean, I could have, now I can call people. I could, now I can. I couldn't do that before. And I have to reset all my settings, but I was really concerned about the Zoom. I asked the guy, make sure we can get on the Zoom with Robert Hollis, because he is my papa. I mean, you're younger than me, yes, but you're the guru.
I can still be your papa. I don't mind.
Gosh, Robert, thank you for letting me be here all this time. This year, summing it up for me, you taught me how to dream again.
I love you.
And this medical stuff is separate. I shouldn't even use the word, or they'll kill me.
Yeah, well, even Deborah, even the technical stuff, there's there's just some times where things don't go the way they're supposed to. And that really is a test of who we are. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I keep thinking of the person that I used to be. And there was things that every time that something would happen to me that wouldn't go my way, I definitely would make it worse.
Yeah, and that's part of it. I was thinking about
and it's
Lisa Marie. Go on.
And all of a sudden you just realize that, you've got to trust your feelings. You when things don't feel good and you're not feeling good, you gotta sort of step away and ask for help. And even if people say, well, listen, who's going to help me? You know what I mean? Everyone will help you. You know what I mean? So even if you're having technical problems, I've watched, even my son, Matthew is the kind of person, if there's something wrong technically going on, he'll just shelter himself and dive deep into it and try to figure it out on his own. And he laughs at me, so he put laugh out loud. And that's why I focus so much on helping so many other people, because Matt will crack up. I'll get up, Deborah, and my phone won't work. And so I'll just go down and get a new one.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, I if my computer's not working, I just go get a new one. And people, well, I can't afford a new one. Well, those are other decisions that you made. I was just trying to help you with it. And so it's this constant focusing on helping other people do what they're doing. And just always remember that, this too will pass. And you just got to, so I'm glad you're dreaming again, and happy birthday.
My dream of the blessing pups is so exciting and important. I know what I need to do action wise, but these things that are getting in the way is infuriating me. And I have to I started my day over with
what as soon as you start feeling that, just say, you know what, God, you got this.
Yes.
You got this. I'm not going to allow myself to get upset with this stuff.
I gave it all to God when we hung up from T-Mobile and tested things that and I even physically wrapped it up in my vision of a birthday present and giving all this to you, because what I've learned on this call today, which happens on almost all your calls, the laughter that you create with people about our circumstances. Oh boy, it was, after what I've been through today for 3 hours. Oh, it was so great to be here and laugh on my birthday, to get the joy of the spirit back.
Well, all I got to say to you,
that was a gift to me. Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Deborah. I love you very much. Happy birthday to you.
I love you very much. And thank you for allowing me to share this. I think it's a stupid thing, listening to all the important questions. I'm beating myself up right now.
Virtually everything we do is sort of silly when you think about it.
Well, you're the most important person under Jesus in my life. And Miss Melody, Queen M, I call her, or #Angel Melody.
Well,
yeah, I don't
love
even know
you,
if she's
Deborah. I
real.
hope you have a great rest of your birthday.
I will. Guess what I'm getting to do? Taking a transport van to the beach. Yay! I haven't seen the beach.
Love ya.
Love you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, Deborah, thank you. And everybody, just happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
There we go. See, everybody's got it.
Yeah, we had Ola's coming up, and it was
Ola
his birthday too.
Yeah, that's right. He had his one recently. And I see Santa Corky has his hand up. So
that's too late. That's too late.
Okay. Well, sorry.
So go ahead, Ola.
All right, Ola's question, unless you want me to ask it for you, Ola, because you did post it in the chat.
Try to unmute him.
All right, here we go. Go ahead, Ola.
Hello.
Hola!
Hello. Yeah, it's I'm reading a book by Robert Kiyosaki right now.
Oh, that's cool.
How to invest like the rich do, that the poor and the middle class don't.
Yeah.
And in this book, anyway, it says 90% of the people are programmed to get a job, and only 10% are programmed to look for opportunity. So my question is, how do you find the 10% that looks for opportunity?
That is my magic, Ola.
Yeah.
That is my magic. When you really watch my video on YouTube of the professor.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a time ago, but
okay. What my magic is, Ola, is guess what every unmotivated poor person has in common?
I don't know.
They know motivated rich people.
Yeah.
So my whole career, that's why I say, Ola, listen, who do you know that would be interested in making some extra money? And you go, well, what is this? When I show you a video with documentation, my next goal is to get you to see a theoretical example where I draw out the 2 that get 4, that get 8, that get 16. And I go, Ola, look here's exactly how you make $10,000 a month. So now, and you go, okay, so what you got to do is you got to introduce me to the 2 people that are at the top. And here's the people I'm looking for, Ola. I'm looking for people that are successful. I'm looking for people that have positive. They're positive. They got nice cars. They got nice homes. They're a good storyteller. See, I'm asking you, a person that's average, to introduce me to the best damn person you know.
Yeah.
So when you ask, how do I find the 10 percenters? I get the 90 percenters excited to introduce me to the people they know that are 10 percenters.
Yeah. Obviously, it works. Yeah.
It works. It works every time. Every person that's ever watched us live or recorded, you guys, every one of you, I've met through someone that we both know. You didn't just one day go, I'm going to search for Robert Hollis. No, someone told you about Robert Hollis.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. So who told you about Robert Hollis?
It was a long time ago. I think I found you online.
No, I think you found me through Nicholas, didn't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I introduced him.
Oh,
through me.
It. See, because there's who introduced me to Melody Ryba was Scott Kloster.
Okay.
See, so where people mess up, like I talked about, is how you find those 10% is getting the 90% motivated enough to introduce you to a 10 percenter.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
here's what's crazy about 10 percenters, Ola, is they're too focused and busy doing what they're doing. You cannot run an ad on social media and find a 10 percenter. They're too focused doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. They're disciplined. They're always focused. They got vision. They're being pulled by their vision. So it's almost impossible to find these people unless it's through somebody that they know. So see what I said to Scott Kloster, listen, who do you know? He's like, listen, I know this lady. Her and her husband used to own a company. I said, well, I want to meet her. And that's how I met Melody Ryba. A lot of people look at Melody Ryba and hear about all the awful things that have happened in her life, and they don't recognize that she's a 10 percenter.
True.
See? So, so think about if it was opposite. What if you introduced me to Melody Ryba?
That would be awesome.
You'd be looking in your back office and it would look way different than it does right now.
Yeah, I know.
So what people do all is they don't mean to do this, but they want to learn everything and they want to be the deal. And so they keep attracting people that are just like them. See, we all think that we're 10 percenters, but when we get into anything, we're really 90 percenters. And so what we do is we're constantly talking to 90 percenters, and we're trying to build a business out of a bunch of people that are 90 percenters.
Yeah.
And then we go, these people are not motivated. They're not bringing any people in. They're not doing anything. It's like they don't plug into the trainings. They don't do any of that stuff. You don't have to do that with a 10 percenter. A 10 percenter will plug in, sign up, buy product. They'll go through every training. They'll plug into everything. It's like someone said to me, hey, I said, who'd you guys learn from? And they go, well, have you heard of Jim Rohn? I go, no, I haven't heard of Jim Rohn. Well, he was taught by Earl Shove. No one had to tell me to go find everything that Jim Rohn and Earl Shove did and study it 24 hours a day. No one told me that.
Yeah.
I found out, I said, wait a minute, these guys are wealthy? Yeah, I want to know everything they know. I'll listen to their audio 100 times. So no one introduced me to Jim Rohn. I asked them, well, who was Bill Gould's trainer? Well, it was Larry Huff and Larry Thompson and Jim Rohn. Where are they? I need to find them. If these are the guys that taught my mentors, I want to know who they are. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So that's the answer. How do you find 10%ers? Is by being very, very good at helping 90%ers imagine a future different than they have.
Okay. Thanks for the answer.
Good. And if you give them a reason to introduce you to a 10%er, they will. And here's where most people mess up. They never ever tell people, Ola, what they're going to say to a 10%er. So if I said to you, Ola, listen, I want you to introduce me to the very best person you know. And people go, I'm not going to do that. Why would people say that? Is because they're smart. You want me to introduce you to the best person I know so you can ruin our relationship? Are you going to try to sell them on something or get them involved in something? See, that's what they're thinking. So this is how I'm going to get Ola to introduce me to the best person he knows. Ola, listen. There's one thing that I know about 10%ers. Let's just say 10%. They make $100,000 a year US. The top 5% make $200,000. You see where I'm going? The top 1% make $1 million. All right. So people that make over $100,000 a year are pretty motivated to make 200. See, we look at business owners that are 10%ers and we go, they're too busy. They're focused on their business. They're not interested. No, they became 10%ers. They used to be 90%ers. So a 10%er wasn't born. They were a 90%er that got introduced to some information. That's Robert Hollis. If you met me 36 years ago, I was a 90%er.
True.
Bad thinking, bad attitude, lazy, thought the world owed me everything, victim, the government, so I was that person. But then I got introduced to somebody that was a 5%er that gave me some information that turned me into a 10%er. So the way I would say to you, Ola, is listen, if you know someone if I asked you to write down a name of the most successful person you know, and listen, this is how we're going to contact them. I'm going to reach out to them and let's just call him Greg.
Yes.
And I'm going to go, hey, Greg, you don't know me, but I was asking Ola if he knew a certain individual that was successful, that knew a lot of people, that had influence, that was really positive and really a go-getter. And when I asked him if he knew anyone like that, Greg, he said your name. Now, Greg, the reason I want to talk to you is I know you know some people that we can help. So I'd like to share with you some information to make you feel comfortable introducing me to those people. So if you said, so you're not going to pitch him? No. Okay, I'll introduce you to him. And when I really teach people this way of doing the business, I know I'm talking to a 10%er when I say this. So they just wanted to hear how I would approach someone like that. And you know what a 10%er will say? I don't need you to contact him. I'll do it. Now I know how to contact that person. Because you know how 90%ers normally talk to 10%ers? They reach out to them and say, hey, I want to tell you about this incredible company you need to get involved in. And they're like, shut the F up.
It's like I have done.
Yeah. So reaching out to a 10%er that's focused and telling them they need to get in something else, their first thought is, Ola, no offense, dude, but I make more in a week than you've made in your life.
Yeah.
Stop telling me what you think I should do.
Exactly.
So the only way to get 10%ers attentions is giving praise and recognition to somebody else. So what did I do when I was a 90%er? I'd reach out to you, Ola, and go, listen, I'm working with this guy that makes 62 grand a month. He's only like 5 years older than us. And he's looking for people that he can train to make $100,000 a year. Ola, the reason I'm talking to you is, who do you know that wants to make $100,000 a year? And you know what 90%ers will say? I don't need to make that kind of money. 90%ers will say, I don't want to work that hard. 90%ers would say, well, most of that money goes to the government. I mean, 90%ers got an excuse and a stupid statement for everything.
Yeah.
They do, because that's why they're 90%ers. So every opportunity that you give them, what is this? Is this a scam? That's what 90%ers say. So that's why you got to tell 90%ers something to get them excited. And then they'll introduce you to a 10%er. What happens when you find a 10%er?
It goes fast.
It's what's happened to me with Melody. See, Melody went to 25K in her first month because she's a 10%er. Then I found Aaron Parker. Some people become 10%ers, and then what they do is they don't continue using the system. So what they do is they be the deal. As soon as they become the deal, it'd be like, isn't this funny? Whether you guys are religious or not, what do we call people that no longer give edification to God and they start saying that they're God? We call that a cult member.
Yeah.
You go, hey, have you heard of what's his face? And you're going, oh, I mean, God, that guy's got a cult. You know what I mean? It's like, why? Well, that guy's not saying that there's somebody else you need to talk to. They say that they're the ones that you need to talk to. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, I can tell a poser and a cult leader immediately. Because they won't ever give any credit to anybody they ever learned from. Ever. And me, I'd walk up to people and they go, well, what is this? I go, dude, I'm a ex-auto mechanic on workman's comp. I make $900 a month. Do you really need me to answer your questions? And they go, I guess not. I would humble myself so freaking fast. You probably make more than me, and I don't even know what the hell you do, Ola. But I'm working with somebody that will train you. And he makes 62 grand a month. I seen his check. You want to meet him? I want to connect you with him. Well, why don't you tell me what it's about? That would be stupid. Why would you want to hear from me? And I never had anybody go, I don't want to talk to the wealthy guy. I want to talk to the broke you. I've never had anybody. Hey, Ola, you know what a 90%er says to a 90%er? This is
No.
fun. A 90%er to a 90%er will go, well, Ola, how long have you been in and how much are you making?
Exactly.
That's what a 90%er says to a 90%er. Well, is it working for you? No, you're not going to believe this, Ola, but I can't play football. I can't sing. I can't act. I'm not a race car driver. Why are you telling me all that? Well, I just told you a bunch of other things that I suck at. Dude, I don't know why this is happening to me right now, but I'm telling you, man, I sort of suck at life right now. You know, I had this plan where I was going to make a bunch of money as an auto mechanic and one day be a crew chief, and then I got hurt on the job. So I didn't understand that if one person was responsible for my income for me and my family, I never thought about if that one person got hurt, then I'm going to hurt my whole family. That's the education that I got, that I'm the guy that makes it all happen. Then I met some smarter people and they go, no, Robert, you make money and you get freedom by introducing other people to something that makes them money. What? That doesn't make any sense. I help other people and then that's supposed to help me? I'm not interested in helping other people, Ola. That's bullshit. How are you going to help me? See, it's like 90%ers think that way for a reason.
Yeah.
So great questions and happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Awesome.
How old are you now? You like 23?
No, 39.
39. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, man. We've known each other for a long time. I really appreciate you.
Appreciate you too. You're awesome.
Right.
Ola,
Okay,
thank
I
you
see
so
that. I
much.
see that Corky disappeared. So
Yeah, well, he's still here, but it's up to, I'm going to say, Corky, it's up to you if you'd like to share, because we're going to give you the opportunity.
Unmute.
What do you
There we
say?
go. You know, it had to do with the GoalBot, but I remember the conversation that you had that it was kind of a distraction, so you kind of stepped away from it.
well, not only has it been a distraction, but it totally blew up and lost all its circuits and disappeared.
Oh, really? Oh, because
Yeah.
I was still interested. So I thought, wow.
No, it went from making money to all of a sudden danger, Will Roger, danger. It's like,
Wow. Okay, well, that answers that question. And
so
then
when you didn't get involved in the GoBot, that was God keeping you focused and he didn't want any of your money.
that's the way I thought about it, but I saw it as an opportunity. Hey, if everything's dumping, it's time to maybe look at it. So
Yeah, it totally yeah, Josh doesn't have a clue what happened, but it lost everyone's money.
wow. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. You know what me and my wife, so I'm glad that you brought this up, but here's what me and my wife thought of. It seems like when things are going really good for the Hollis family, there's always these people that introduce a shortcut to us.
I've got stuff coming at me like crazy, and I relate to that.
Yeah.
Because things have tripled for me. And it's everything that we talk about in here is why. I'm 1.3. I don't want to go into all this because
Stay focused, my friend. Stay focused.
My income
every
is
one of us, every
tripled.
one of us in life and times have known that we're being blessed, that we're on the right track.
Right.
And you know, with people understanding the two things of Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, when you're in the blessings and everything's flowing for you, just know that there's the Darth Vaders of the world that are going to do everything to get you sidetracked.
Right.
Don't allow it to happen, my friend.
Well, I guess, and you've brought this up before for me especially, and because you know I don't do a whole lot with the company. I use their products. I just got a package yesterday, and I just don't, you know, but
yeah,
the thing is, Evan Carmichael's, you know, I reached out to them, and they, you know, and I had a question a little bit about that is not a little bit. I have an appointment with Alex, one of his team members, you know,
right,
on YouTube, but I want to expand. It's just like you say, when you hit that 10%, I'm in that 10% now.
Yeah,
10 grand last month.
Corky,
and I'm ready.
Here's what I want you to hear. Hear this, and this is it. When you find your niche, when God gives you your niche, anything that you do outside of that, you need to hire someone to do that for you.
Oh, well, I can, and I'm there actually. I started
stretch your faith. And so when you look for someone like Evan Carmichael is going to teach you, Corky, how to make a bunch of money from YouTube, but Corky has to do it.
Yeah, and
now you need to put some feelers out there. Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? And you need to find someone that will take your existing content from TikTok and build you a giant YouTube channel.
That's good advice. Yes.
So Corky every day does what Corky does. Corky knows when he's in the zone. And when you're in the zone, that's when God blesses you, because you're in the zone and you're making people feel good. You're giving them hope. You're inspiring them. Anything that Corky does outside of that is going to cost you. And here's where I'll really touch your heart.
Yeah.
Don't allow any distractions to stop you from touching the people that you're supposed to touch.
Yeah.
So, Corky, you're front level to me in MDC. There's nothing that I would love more than to have you as a super affiliate underneath me. But that's not what God wants you to do.
Oh, it's almost a release when you do that. Because I feel it is a release, because I feel like you gave so much, and how do I give back to you other than being successful and you're in my story all the time? And then if I can help with your foundation, and I would like to talk to your
I want you to make millions of dollars so you can donate money to the foundation to take care of more kids.
Right. I was told by my accountant I have to get my own foundation to give to your foundation, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Can I talk to your lawyers?
So you can tell Alex when you talk to Alex, hey, I talked to Robert and I don't need you.
Okay. What?
Yes. You don't need to buy coaching in a course that you don't have time to go through.
I don't. You're right.
Use that money instead of buying that course and that training to give to someone that will build your YouTube channel for you.
I thought I could find that through Evan's group or some, I don't know where to, other than you put the feelers out, but just faithfully put them out.
Faithfully put them out. But guess what? People that are good at building YouTube channels or building websites are advertising. You know what I mean? So, you know, go out there and find other people that have successful YouTube channels and ask them who they hired.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want, all you need to be doing, Corky, every day is making people feel good.
Yep. That's when it grows.
You
and
making
expands.
people feel good is why your TikTok is 1.3 million. And that's what you got to focus on. And when you think, well, I could do a lot more with YouTube. I could touch more people with YouTube.
Yes.
I
Yes.
could touch more people with these other social medias. Seek out the people that can do that for you.
Okay. Good stuff.
Yeah. Because if you got like 20 people that are working for you, or even 5 people that are working for you,
Mm-hmm.
and all they're doing is looking at Corky, it's like what Craig does for me. He's one of my visionaries. You know, he watches my content and goes, that was a good piece. That was a good piece. That was a good piece. And he puts numbers before and after them. And then what him and Matthew do is take that content and put them into shorts.
Yeah, I see your shorts all over TikTok.
Yeah, I'm not creating those.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Aren't you guys glad that I pulled Corky in here before we left? It's like, man, you guys know what you got to do. You got to do what you do, and you got to, and that's what people say. They always put the cart before the horse, right? Or the wagon before the whatever, whatever I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's like, but what we do is we try to be all things. We try to be a one-person show.
Yes.
And do everything.
Yes.
Now, as you start picking up, you want to find people. You guys get on my YouTubes and you see my YouTubes and you see these Ask Me Anythings, and you see all my content. If you Googled Robert Hollis, you know, people go, well, who is this Robert Hollis? Google this guy. Google this guy. You will be blown away. I tell people, if you go to Google and put in Robert Hollis, and then go up where it says images and videos and click on videos. And when you guys see how many videos are on Google of me, you'll be going, oh my God, I create the content. The people behind me create the magic.
That's good.
Matthew's the one that created that website. So people find my website and they go, damn, you got a good website. And I'm going like, yeah, because I got a genius behind me. How many people think that I got the best MC in the world? Craig Jackman. So people see my videos and they go, how in the hell did all these links get underneath this video?
Right.
Craig. So don't try to call them up and try to outpay me. You're that don't steal my people.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you so much.
Corky. I love you, man.
Thank
all right,
you.
let's
Thanks
close
for
this
letting me
out.
be
I
here.
love and appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for getting on here. And man, I love and appreciate you guys. I'm nobody without you guys. So thank you so much.
Robert, thank you so much for sharing yourself today. And thank each and every one of you for sharing as well. I got to give it out to Coach Bob, Jody Falcon, James Saunders, Sharon Zeman, John Tier, Jerome Marshall, Esume, Deborah Bronner, Ola Meyer, Santa Corky, and of course, got to give it to Matthew Hollis, our executive producer. Bless you, Matthew. Thank you so very, very much for all of the support that you give to each and every one of us. And thank you for watching. And, you know, as I said earlier in the broadcast, you can find Robert every day here on YouTube, Monday through, I'm going to say Sunday through Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific with his going lives, at noon on Saturday with, what do you think? Ask Me Anything. And then, of course, on Wednesdays with our How Do You Know That podcast starting at 1 p.m. Pacific. And then if you want to go further than that, we have our amazing Inner Circle where we all get together and mastermind on Thursdays, 3 p.m. Pacific. You know, it's great to be a part of our community. You being here give us what we do here, the boost. It is because of you that we are here, that we do the voodoo that we do so well, to quote one of my favorite movies, Blazing Saddles. And definitely appreciate each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. If you want to save the chats, YouTube, you got it right there. It's there. For those of you here on Zoom, go ahead, and I've already posted it, but I'll post it again. If you want to save the chat, there are 3 dots in the chat section of Zoom. Click on those three dots and then click on Save Chat. And as soon as we complete this presentation, the Zoom or the chat will download to your computer. There's the information right there. And we look forward to seeing you the very next time. Those of you watching on YouTube, please like and share this video. Even if you're here on Zoom and you want to go ahead and share what this is all about, do that. Share the video. We appreciate you. We love you. And until next time, please be good to yourselves. Be cash. And bye-bye. We're going to go ahead and open up and ask everyone to unmute so that we can all say goodbye together.
Thank you, Robert.
Thanks a lot, Robert. Great information today. Very, very good information. Very helpful. Take care. Have a good one.
Thank you, everyone.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Love you.
We thank you guys very, very much.
Thank you, Robert.
All right. Until next time.
Take care. Have a good one. Take care.